Evening, everybody. It's 5:53 on this Thursday evening. Another up day in the market, and I want to address an issue. I always feel badly when I sell out too early, and unfortunately, I tend to do it on a pretty regular basis. Um, the one that is bothering me a little was the Teva, which we sold out at about 87 cents and have since gone to about a buck and a quarter. And that always hurts. But the same day that we did that, we also sold out of the balance of the TBT calls between $1.34 and $1.40 and made great money on them, well over 100%. But more importantly, looking at the balance of the account, those have gone from that, let's just use the bottom number, $1.34. They closed at a quarter today. And the chart on the screen shows you why. We literally sold them right here, and they were short the bonds, long yield. And since that point, they went from 123 to close today 127. And the TBT, they were 30 and a half calls. We closed at right on 30:03. So I feel badly, but at least on this one, I don't have to feel too badly. The one that actually really is bothering me is one that we didn't get into because it took off yesterday like a shot, and we didn't have a chance to buy them. And that is the silver. I was looking at it in here. I bought a couple of the AGQs for myself because I thought the risk of them up here coming back down was a little bit more extreme than what I wanted to do for the alerts. But we took off yesterday up $1.09, $1.03, and then today up another 64 cents. So that works out. It will come back in. We will get another chance. That's the thing about all of these trades. They're like buses. You miss one, there's another one right behind it. So with that, I'm going to get into what we had today. Today we had good PPI numbers. Um, Not overwhelming, but just good enough. Um, when you look at the core year over year and you still see that it's 2.4, um, you know, it's still over where they want to be. And frankly, it concerns me because I don't think that they have the amount of patience, or they don't want to have the amount of patience that they had when they thought that inflation was transitory. So, I think on the basis of what the market is doing, which is simply amazing, I got to give it to Tom Lee. There's an old saying, if you're going to say how high or low, if you're going to use the price, don't say the time. If you're going to say the time, don't use the price. But he came out on Monday and said, basically, we're going to have a 100-point move in the S&P. And considering where we were, that was a pretty ballsy thing to do. And yet, he was 100% right. So today we had decent PPI. We had uh, claims that were just so. Initial claims were down 12,000, but continuing claims were up 11,000. So, on the basis of that, that's a pretty decent report. Um, Advanced declines in today's market were the same as they were yesterday. um, in the NYSE, 5 to 2 on the upside, which is very healthy without getting excessive. Um, the Nasdaq yesterday up 158 was 7 to 4. Today up um, 219 was 1.8 to 1, so almost 2 to 1. Volume remained reasonably heavy for the summer, 5.2 billion shares traded. We started with Pepsi this morning having earnings. I hate earnings season. Everybody knows it. I constantly want to avoid anything with earnings unless I can write against it. And starting tomorrow, we have more earnings. We have JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citi. So, um, and that is a group that hasn't really been performing terribly well. So we'll have to see whether we get strong beats or just beats which aren't because they've lowered expectations so dramatically. And today we also had two real debacles. One of them I told you about yesterday, which was VSAT, VSAT. They had an unexpected event, um, and so their satellite is up there not performing, certainly not performing the way they expected it to. Now, last night I talked about it, and it had closed at 42.98 and was trading down around $34, down about 9 3/4 or 22%. Today it just got worse. It traded all the way down to 27.34, and even though it closed up on the range at 30.80, well off the low and closer to the high, it was still down 12.20 or 28%. So, you know, almost 43 to under 28, closing at under 31. That's pretty extreme. Another one, THRX. Um, THRX is a biopharma, and they had it's Theseus Pharmaceuticals, and they halted um, registrations and a phase 1 and 2 trial on a non small cell lung cancer drug. Um, the stock has only been around since November or October of 2021 when it was 24 and a half, 24.54 is the high. The low recently was $4.01. It closed yesterday at 9.52, and that was actually today. It closed at 9.52. But they put out the news after the close, and the stock sank straight down to $2.31, and right now is trading 248, down 720 or 74%. You know, for every deal and every great report on progress of a trial, you still get these. And, you know, I don't know whether somebody will buy this company or whether it's just going to languish, but the news was not great. We also had exactly who you would have expected today to be higher running this market. Google up 5%. Um, Amazon up 2.5%. Apple only up 0.38. Um, Meta up $3 or a percent. Microsoft up $5 or a percent and a half. Nvidia up another 24 and a half or 5.6%. This is number one, not sustainable, and number two is really going to hurt some people when they turn, and you know they always turn. um, Another nice move today, in on the future side, we had some of the grains after yesterday's crop report really turn on a dime. Soybeans closed on the low yesterday. Today, they traded near that low again and then ran $42 to the upside. To give you an idea, um, and we still have Dennis trading futures for us. This is a 5,000 bushel contract, so $42 at 50 cents each is a hell of a gain. I mean, you know, we're talking about $2,100 in a day on something that he was buying yesterday right near the lows, because this was the low. Here were a couple of low closes. Here is, a rising 20 day. The 5 days already through it. And, I hate for you not to be participating there. But the one that I really wanted to show you was news related, and that was the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin was up 5% today and clearly broke out here. I don't know how far it carries, but it is pretty impressive. This is a daily. Let's look at the weekly and see where resistance is. No resistance in the last year. So you got to go back 2 years to see any real supply around 35,700. So very impressive. And with Bitcoin up 5%, let's just take a quick look at Ethereum, because it was up hugely also today, $132 to 2,000, just 2,000. That was up 7%, so 40% higher, and it has not broken out. And if it does, you're going to see a move up to 2,500. That's a nice size gain. Um, it would be you know, about 30%, and we've come off the lows. Very, nice chart, same period of time. In any event, uh, as I said, tomorrow we have JP Morgan, we have Wells Fargo, we have Citi, and that's really the kickoff of earnings season. So I'll be back first thing in the morning. Hope everyone had a good day today.